Welcome back to Political Soul for everybody. Yes, indeed, we're here. It's May 8th, Wednesday, 2019. And we got to talk about more politics. Got to eat every day. You know what I mean? Topic is, what's good about having so many Democratic presidential candidates? This is an important topic. Very much so. Because this could make or break us. Definitely, indeed. This could make or break us. Let me just give a quick shout out over here on IG. We got Dr. Aldemai up in the house. Oh, we got Soul Brother Jerome up in the house. That's good. That's good. Tonight's topic, again, is what's good about having so many Democratic presidential candidates. Let's get into this, folk, because we're not going to be here all night. I know y'all got to get some sleep. So let's do this. First things first. Some people have been complaining about so many Democratic presidential candidates. I think that's actually good. One reason why is it's waking everybody up. And it's going to diversify our policy platform. Meaning, because everybody is coming out, about 24 people, from Biden to Cory Booker and others who maybe we don't know at the national level. Everybody's submitting what their claim to fame would be or should be, right? And they're saying to us, hey, this is my agenda. This is what we're going to champion if you vote for me. Now, a lot of them, almost all of them, have great ideas. What's going to happen is, as many of the candidates sort of drop out and begin to endorse others, their platforms will be negotiated or absorbed into others. So that means we get the best of many worlds for our diverse constituency on the left. What we have to remember is that the left is much more diversified than the right. Demographically and ethnically, racially, and ideologically. It is not to say there isn't diversity on the right. There aren't different strands of conservatism or people who do not identify as a conservative. I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm just saying that on the left it's amplified even more. That's the way the party is at the moment. And if you look at exit polls for the last 50 years, you will see that consistently. The fact of the matter. For that reason, people on the right, on the left, are not going to get, individual groups are not going to get all that they want. It's not going to happen. Not to mention, politics is already wired for white America. All right. So I think that beginning with so many candidates brings so many different ideas in. Ideas from, Obamacare to Medicare for all, to universal health care, a sort of minimum wage, universal minimum wage, or universal income. All kinds of ideas are being popped up. And it basically is saying, all of this is saying, this is the kinds of positions we want people on the left to take. Now, people are going to take these positions to varying degrees for many reasons. Some believe they should go in as all out as possible. No exceptions. Others feel that, well, we should piecemeal it in. The idea, though, is that there are different shades of blue. We have to acknowledge that there are simply different shades of blue, varying shades of blue. Now, these shades, some are ideological shades. Other times, they're sort of strategical or tactical shades, meaning that some politicians feel that the best way is to try to take smaller steps, take smaller bites, so that way you can minimize the backlash. Others say we shouldn't compromise, we should push. All right. The key thing is that we're talking about leaning towards the blue, towards the left, and we're talking about policies that are in the direction of the people on the left. We have to keep that in mind as voters. We have to be judicious and understand the nature of politics, the nature of human relations. I don't know if you've ever been in the cadets like I have, or Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. You will see that it's difficult to get everybody on the same page. And when you do, there is some sort of compromise going on. Now, so, there are some rare moments where everybody's on one accord at every single point. And that's very, very rare. And it's very, very scary too. So first thing, the first benefit is that the platform of the ultimate nominee will be diversified, because that platform would have absorbed different platforms from other candidates who ends up dropping out the race and negotiating with the remaining candidates on how they're going to take care of their babies, or they're going to incorporate some of their ideas, right? That's the transaction. That's politics. That's good. That means some of us who want certain politicians who don't have a chance, let's just face it, some politicians just don't have a chance right now, because the majority of the constituents on the left may be unfamiliar or not cool, a little suspicious with this person. You don't know, there's a lot of different reasons. Maybe it's not the best reason. Maybe some get more press than others. Yes, that happens. That's reality. Snap out of it. Get over yourself. That's the way it is. But look at what we can gain. All right, so that's the key. So first, I've diversified the platform, the ultimate platform. Two, we can activate different shades of blue. That means we get broader symbolic representation. Symbolic representation is very important, as you can see now, in the way that Trump's symbolic representation emboldens people to be more politically active. Okay. And I could stop right there. Just being more politically active because you see someone who is representing, even if it's just rhetorically, your beliefs and your views, your vision of America. Just that much could motivate people to go all out. I mean, think about the kamikazes who understood that their love for country comes before their desire to live, or the joy from living. They sacrifice themselves. Now, I don't want to get too gloomy here on this right here. And I don't want to make too many crazy suggestions. But what I am saying, which is very real, symbolic representation can spark political activity. And so some people kind of front on that. And this is what we need for the Democratic Party. There are many groups that have yet to see someone who represents their views, or someone who lives their views, in the highest seats of office, in Congress, in the Supreme Court, in the White House. So it's important that all the different shades of blue, and I'm speaking demographically now in a sense, and also ideologically, are represented somehow. And so having all of these different candidates run who are ultimately representing a spectrum of ideas and belief systems, religions, policies, is activating everyone who they represent collectively. And what that means for the final one for tonight is we can see and share our common ground. We can see that we're in this together. That's the key. That's what's good. So these are the 3 points. The 3 points. The 3 reasons why having, my opinion right now, having so many Democratic presidential candidates are: 1, we diversify the platform, the ultimate platform. 2, we activate all shades of blue. It'll be because each shade actually now has symbolic representation, more or less, from the LGBT community to women to people of color and white Americans. And obviously there's some groups not factored in there, but seeing progress in that direction, I think, helps and is encouraging. We have Asian American, right? Andrew Yang is up in there. So we got a nice little mix. And So what that means for the second one is more and more people are likely to get up and vote. At least during the primaries, right? How do we translate that gets a little tricky. And finally, that means we will stand together on our common ground. Y'all feel me on that? What do y'all think about that? I'm gonna throw some questions at y'all on this. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts? So for me, the three benefits we get from so many candidates: one, we diversify the platform, right? The policy platform. Two, that means we activate people who are on various levels on the left, okay, and also it means that more and more people are likely to see someone who represents their views, getting traction and translating the issues and problems that are specific to certain groups. And finally, that means we protect and identify our common ground. That's what I see tonight, y'all. That's what I got for y'all tonight. This is a cool article. It's a cool article. And while I pull up this article, if you want to call in, you might want to call in and share your view on this. The number for Political Soulful talk, gossip, chit chat, debate is 202-505-0250. 202-505-0250. So feel free to call if you want to chime in on this conversation. It's not part of the debate right now. So let's see here. Rolling Stone has an article that really kind of inspired me to talk about this. It's the Rolling Stone Politics 2020 Democratic Primary Leaderboard. Check it out. I'm going to come back to it and actually read through and discuss the descriptions of the different candidates, their policies, their hurdles, and personalities in their ranking, and the likelihood or probability of them winning or not. Okay, so I'm definitely going to try to post that in our Political Soul Food platform on IG for sure. And if you want that here on Facebook, just send a request and I'll send it to you. So yeah, so you feel free to call in if you want to, because that's it. That's it. That's what I got to say for y'all. The three reasons why I think having so many Democratic presidential candidates are: one, the varying candidates diversify the platform. That means whoever will ultimately be the nominee will have a platform that incorporates many, many, many needs of people on the left. And that goes to the second good, which is an increase in symbolic representation. More and more groups are finding that their issues are being heard and addressed to varying degrees, or at the very least, I would say, people are put on notice that, hey, we had a candidate out there who was talking about what we want. Make sure you do that, because the next go around, they're going to need us again. All right? And finally, that expands our common ground. What the left, more than anything right now, needs is to recognize the common ground we occupy, that we need to protect, that we abandoned the bastions of the common ground that we created in 2008 and 2012. But I think we know better now. I really do think we know better. So again, I'm going to see if anybody want to chime in on this, because I want you to keep this in mind when moving forward. Because that's it for us, for Political Soul Food tonight. That's it. I think that's very important. I'll talk specifics later at another time on each candidate. Each candidate got some juicy stuff that I like. You already know. So my, you know what? I'll just share my pick right now. My main pick is Kamala Harris. Keep calling her Kamala Harris. Her proper pronunciation is Kamala. And I'm feeling her. I'm feeling her record, feeling her history. She has, as anybody does, flaws. But I think that she fits the bill for the symbolic representation. I think she fits the bill in terms of the direction that the country needs to go in. and she has the attitude, she has the toughness, she's in the right age. She has the right voter constituency behind her, even if I didn't want to vote for her. Just looking at, for me, I look at certain voters. Women of color. She's doing well with black women and women of color in general. And listen, they will tell you what is what. Go with the women of color. That's my motto. All right, my simplified motto. So she has that strong backing. In fact, Biden is doing well with the people of color as well. I mean, obviously, he was the vice president, to President Barack Obama. And so what people see there, understandably, and what I appreciate as well, is his commitment to that legacy, to the Barack Obama legacy, and moving our country in pretty much the direction that everybody here who's running are trying to go in. To be frank, I mean, there's not much different from what everybody's presenting, from Bernie to and Elizabeth Warren. I'll say those two because a lot of people feel like they're like more of the purest progressives. All right. Look at what's going on in their states. Look at whatever they accomplished to do versus what they said. All right. And if you really want to test Obama, look at what Obama did in his own state. Okay. As senator, as state senator. Okay. And as a community organizer. Your boy did some work. All right. He did a little bit more than take pictures. I don't mean to take shots. He did a little bit more than take pictures with a civil rights activist. But, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So, but anyway, Kamala Harris is my pick right now. I started donating. Y'all got to donate, too. Whoever you pushing, you got to donate. I'm serious. You got to donate. Our team needs money. And you know what? Especially those people who are saying we want money out of politics. Y'all better give money. Y'all don't give enough money. We don't give enough money. Okay? Data shows that, even though collectively we can give a lot, but it's really not much as corporations give. So we got to step up or zip it. Because these men and women, these human beings are trying to survive in an arena where people are looking to take advantage in any and every way to win. And we want people to turn the economic cheek, right? Think about what we're asking for. That means we don't want anybody to be in there because this is the real world and we're living a fairy tale. Sorry to say, that's the wake-up call. That's the wake-up call to my leftist perfectionists. Okay, so again, all right, y'all, I'm gonna drop this one last time and I'm out. The 3 reasons why I think having so many Democratic presidential candidates: 1, it diversifies the platforms, as those, when people bail out, they're going to endorse others, and getting that endorsement, they're going to negotiate and getting some of their points into the agendas of the remaining candidates. That's good. All right. That's what politics is, the negotiation of power. And that increases the symbolic representation. Perhaps the transaction could be adding someone to to certain positions, making somebody Secretary of State, putting somebody down, in some, position in the White House or in the Justice Department, or appointing someone a federal judge, all right? And, focusing on their core issues, putting someone, in, the EPA. And, so that's how it works. It really is how it works. So that's the second one. And the third one is that really it's more psychological for us. And that's just being aware that our destinies are tied. Our goals are interdependent. We don't have isolated goals. If I have a certain goal to expand education, someone else has a goal for mass incarceration reform, which I do too, we're going to find ways to help each other, because there are issues with mass incarceration that are monkey wrenches in the things that I'm dealing with education, and vice versa. Okay, as a person of color who's seeing the Civil Rights Act gutted time and time again, you better believe I'm going to be supportive of the LGBTQ rights issues, and not just for a quid pro quo, like you do for me, I do for you. All right, not just that. I mean, seeing a common ground is really fundamentally understanding that it is just. Okay, so don't get me wrong. It's not just for expediency, but I am saying that we have to acknowledge that expediency. This is politics, and this is how it goes, right? We're not going to ignore the expediency of the matter and the practicality of these situations. But a lot of people forget that. Some people cannot see the philosophical justification. They're such purists that they just back out and say, so some African Americans say, well, if a certain candidate is not, a certain group is not really articulating what I'm all about, I'm not helping. I'm not helping the LGBTQ community, or I'm not helping that community, and vice versa. And not realizing that as political individuals who are aiming for things that need a certain kind of political climate, we all lose out if we do not help cultivate a particular political climate. And by political climate, I mean political environment where we have certain representatives in the institutions, in the building, who have a certain kind of mindset, who are thinking a certain way about our collective issues. Okay, so if the political climate is as it is now on the right, it's very hot up in here. Like Nelly said, you want to take off all your clothes, take off all your sanity, then nothing's going to get done. As we can see, those who feel that climate change is number one, you ain't getting nothing done. Trump is just axing that. Axing the Paris Agreement. He's now forbidding agencies whose job it is to identify climate change issues from acknowledging that. Okay, he's allowing companies and businesses to dump, garbage and waste and water channels, right? And then forget he's endorsing private prisons. So you're talking about mass incarceration reform. Forget about it. You want to reform the criminal justice system? Yeah, he got this act that was passed, but on the back end, it's really getting worse. And forget about the economic level. So those who just felt like Obama was a neoliberal, which is false, look at what you got now with Trump and his tax cuts for his cronies. So we all lose out. We all lost out. So hopefully that third one, that common ground, will play a huge purpose in our decision to vote. Right? Even when our candidate, our favorite candidate, our hand-picked candidate doesn't win. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to Political Soul Food tonight. I'm over and out. I hope to see y'all tomorrow for Tuesdays, Black Shoutouts. Got some stuff for y'all. And then we're going to do it again next week. All right, I'm really looking forward to these chats. We back in business. Thanks again. If y'all want to support, check out patreon.com, patreon.com/Gaston Henry. Or check out PayPal.